Today we've got a yard that's absolutely full of weeds. It's almost springtime. I sprayed the yard. I'm going to show you the exact products I'm using on this yard, and I will also show you the transformation. Let's get started. Today's video is sponsored by Graham Spray Equipment. You can see in the background my Graham Spray rig. I've got a 400-gallon split tank. If you need a rig for your business, then go to grahamse.com or give those guys a call. So there's a guy that mows grass in our area, and he called me. I do some of the spraying for him, the weed control and fertilization. He calls me the other day. He said, hey, I've got a yard for you. It's been neglected for a little while. Can you just go by and take a look and take care? So I pulled up and I'm gonna show you what I saw. Here it is. Now, this may look worse to you initially than it actually is in reality. When I see a yard like this, I see all this weeds here, and this is the actually main culprit here is called hairy bittercress. That's hairy bittercress, and it's a very full state, mature state, I should have said, and it's blooming. So I see a yard that's got tons of weeds, but what I'm seeing is all the tan stuff here is our dormant Bermuda grass, and there's plenty of dormant Bermuda grass in this lawn, and that's a good sign for me because I know that this yard was once taken care of. It's just been taken over by weeds from being neglected. Now, as I got in here closer, you start seeing all the poa annua. You got lots of clover, and over here, I want to show you this difference because you can see Bermuda, all the weed pressure. And look at this. You get over here, it's actually zoysia, and there's almost no weeds. Now, the same treatment been done to this as has been to this, which is virtually none, at least for the past year. Just want to show you how much cleaner zoysia grass looks typically than a Bermuda yard. Now, I get the call and it's on into March when I get that call. Ideally, I want to put a pre-emergent down in January, February. I'm in the Birmingham, Alabama area. If I can get that pre-emergent down then, I'm going to get ahead of almost all the warm season weeds, including crabgrass. When we're on into March, the weather up in the 70s, I'm concerned that I might be a little bit late with my pre-emergent as far as getting ahead of the weeds. And on a yard like this, I'm not too concerned about it. I don't think it was just loaded with crabgrass, but I wouldn't doubt if there was some crabgrass last year. So what I do at this time of year, you can do a couple things. One, some people, instead of using prodiamine for their pre-emergent, they'll go to dimension. I don't do that anymore. I use prodiamine and I mix it with a quinclorac product. That's the post-emergent for crabgrass. So I put the prodiamine and the quinclorac in there together. And then for my broadleaf post-emergents, I put triplet as well as metsulfuron. I'm gonna show you these products. I add the surfactant. I sprayed this yard 2 days ago and you can already see the results. Let me show you. Now, some of this is results because the weather is warm. If I'd have did this in February, cooler temperatures, would not have got the same results. But look at the clover. The clover is already starting to wilt. And again, today was in the upper 70s. So that's why we're getting these fast results. You can see this weed, maybe it's kind of yellow in nature anyway, but it looks like it might just be turning yellow. I'm not exactly sure. There's dandelions there. You got cudweed. It's typically one that's a little bit slower to die. This is chickweed, a lot of weeds in here. We showed you the hairy bittercress. And so I'm encouraged that it's definitely working. If a customer came out and saw this, they would see visible results within just a couple of days. Now, I don't want to promise that because, again, if the weather would have been cooler, it would have took significantly longer to see those visible results. But I'm encouraged with the results I'm seeing. So let me show you the exact products that I used on this lawn. So here's the products. We'll start here with this Resolute. This is my prodiamine. So that's my pre-emergent. Again, if I put that out in January, February, I have virtually no crabgrass. But because I was late with it, I still want to put it out. It can help with some future weeds. But I went ahead and spiked it with the Q-Ball. Q-Ball is the quinclorac product that I was talking about. Now, you can get generic quinclorac, and I can put some links in the description to some of these products if that's helpful for you. And then triplet is a 3-way herbicide. That's probably what I'm getting a lot of the results with on those broadleaf weeds and seeing the quick action on the triplet. Again, with the warmer weather, it's even faster. And the Manor, this is metsulfuron, very cheap product, but you got to be real careful with it. People ask me, how do I mix Manor in a little 2-gallon sprayer? It's very hard to do that. The rate that I'm using is anywhere from 1/4 to 1/3 of an ounce per acre. You know, that's right, 1/4 of an ounce per acre. So it's a very, very, very low amount. And typically I'm gonna mix that in my big tank and not in here. So it's just too small of a quantity to put in there. And you do gotta be a little bit careful with it, because in higher rates, it can do damage to trees, particularly oak trees. So you wanna have a caution with that. I'm excited about this yard because I think with this application, we're gonna see these weeds die. I'm gonna fertilize the yard, and I think by the end of the video, we're gonna see a much different looking lawn. So I'm gonna continue to track it as I continue to work on the yard. Checking back in on the yard, it's been about 2 weeks since we did the initial application, and I want to show you the results. I told you guys I wasn't playing around on this yard. We finally got some good results here, and it looks like we have totally dominated a lot of the weeds. Now, if you remember what it looked like, all these weeds, and it does help that it's been mowed, but look at this, the results we got with the combination that we use. Again, it's going to be different depending on the time of year. If it was colder, it would have been slower, but really happy with the results. Big weeds dying out, clover, whatever that giant weed was. And it doesn't mean that every single weed is dead, but they are definitely on the way out. More clover. You can see there the Poa annua still alive, but it's fading out a little bit from the heat, and when the grass is being mowed, it's not nearly as noticeable. But you just surveying over again, we looked at it before, and the zoysia had very few weeds in it, as you can see, and it does help that the grass was cut. But look at the zoysia here, things are starting to turn green. The Poa's gonna die out soon. More clear examples of, looks like hairy bittercress, chickweed, cudweed, a lot of things dying out. Now, some of the ones that are tough to kill from a broadleaf perspective are things like this. Yellow wood sorrel, or oxalis, Oxalis. It's a spelling bee here. Field matter, you can see it. Now they're starting to discolor a little bit, but they're still here. There's some geranium dying out. Field matter, again, not as impressive of results. So where do we go in a yard like this? A yard in this situation is getting time, and we put some fertilizer on it and get that Bermuda grass to really thicken up, and the zoysia in this particular case where we got multiple grass types. But some of these other weeds that are still here, I may have to go in there with a specialty product. I like to use Change Up for those tough broadleaf weeds that are hard to control, like the field matter, like the yellow wood sorrel or the oxalis. Change Up will knock those out. There's other products, Blindside, things like that. But fertilizer and then taking care of these broadleaf weeds will help finish the transformation. And then when that warm weather kicks in, the fertilizer, then you're gonna start having a thick, healthier lawn. And then that fall application, I put out my fall pre-emergent next September or October, and that's gonna do a lot to keep these weeds from coming back next year, including the Poa annua, which is just all in this yard. Again, not nearly as noticeable now that it's turning green. So I'm real happy with this video because I wanted to show you how fast a yard can be transformed. I get this from customers all the time. They say, Jason, you know, is it gonna take a year to transform my yard? You know, and for me, it's looking at the type of weeds they have, how healthy is their grass. And in this situation, I mean, I don't see any reason why this yard's not going to be looking really good about a month from now. Maybe I can show you an update after it all turns green. I thought I would give a little encouragement on these videos because I'm trying to put myself in your shoes if you're watching a video. I think you got different kind of people. Some people watch the video and they get discouraged because they're like, Jason, I tried that on my yard and it didn't work right. And I went and bought something at the big box store and sprayed it and I still got weeds. And I understand where that can be frustrating. Again, hopefully from watching the videos, you're learning the products we're using. It doesn't have to be the exact products I'm using, don't think that, but kind of the strategy behind it, the pre-emergent, post-emergent, learning to identify some of the weeds so that you'll know what product will kill this weed, because certain products, you spray on one weed, it'll kill that weed and won't do anything to another weed and vice versa. So hopefully you're gaining the knowledge and learning the strategy behind it. And even with me, I might go spray the same combination on another yard, and depending on the time of the year and the weeds, might not get the exact same results. The other thing I thought of is I go out there and I do a video like this, and you know, part of me wants to wait till June or at least May, where I can come back and show it and it's like really green, and look at it now. I mean, it just looks great. But the problem with that is, if I wait that long, then the stuff I'm telling you in the first of the video is kind of not applicable in June, because you got a whole different set of weeds. And so I think what I might do is like show this transformation, but then later come back and do an update on it and show it when it looks really good. So that's just part of the frustration I'm dealing with, is not being able to show you like the sure enough beautiful lawn. I showed you the weeds died, and you can picture it's going to turn green soon and all that in your head. But one day I want to show you what it really looks like. And I'm thinking about even showing you some yards that I did some videos on last year that were really bad. I got one in mind, and then come back and show it this year and say, you know, it took a while, but look at it. It finally's fixed. And once you get it fixed, maintaining it's not that big of a deal. So anyway, hopefully the videos are helpful. I love your feedback in the comments, and appreciate all the encouragement, appreciate the support of the channel. Hey, if you like this transformation video, share it, give it a thumbs up, leave me a comment. Thanks a lot for watching. If you want to get a weed control and fertilization like me, go to lawncarelife.com. That's where you'll find the Weed Control and Fertilization Academy. But I hope to have more videos like this. So if you like this, there'll be more to come. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video.